Age of Sigmar 4th edition is almost with us. We're a little over 3 weeks away. 13th of July is when the box is going to drop. We've seen the entire contents now. We've even seen some of the models that are going to be joining the range after the release of the core box. In an effort to get on board early, like I did with Kill Team, I'm going to make real effort to make sure that I get the contents of this core box painted so that I can learn to play the game and actually enjoy a side of the hobby I've never really experienced before. I've tried playing 3rd edition, and to be honest, I spent so much time painting my army, I never really bothered learning to play the game, to my own detriment. This is going to be different with 4th edition. With the two factions fighting out, the Wormtail Skaven coming up through the burrows, trying to take over the overworld, and the less shiny but still kind of golden Boys of Sigmar, ready to come forth from the Ruination Chamber where they've seemingly just been relaxing for a little while. Now it seems like the perfect time for me to get on board and start to learn to play the game. In this video, I'm going to take a look at what I might be able to do to the Strormcast and make them a little bit more flavourful, hopefully a little bit less shiny, and give them a little bit more character that's somewhat more reflective of the lore. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Wayne. As I said, in this video, I'm going to take a look at the Strormcast. In general, the colour schemes that we see them in commonly, and well, what we might be able to do. And in fact, if you stick around to the end of the video, or you see in the thumbnail, you'll see what I've done with my own Strormcast. Try to develop a quick paint scheme that's going to let me get them from the box to the tabletop in double quick time. With that said, let's take a look at some of the current schemes for Strormcast, break them down and try and analyse what's good about them and maybe what's not so good as well. So much gold. I've never been a fan of Strormcast for that very reason. Gold as far as the eye can see. One of the really appealing things about this new edition is the introduction of the Ruination Chamber and the lore surrounding it. How these are the last times that they're going to be reforged. Sigmar has done his all with them, and these guys basically have totally lost their humanity. They're hanging on with a thread to their last vestiges of human thought. Now, that is somewhat way more appealing than just painting these guys gold. Now, that said, these guys obviously at one point were new Strormcast. They were devoted to Sigmar, and they still are. They just can't remember it. They can't remember any of their humanity, or very little at least. They're hanging on with a thread to the last vestiges of their former lives. One more reforging and they might be totally gone. How can we reflect that in a paint scheme? Well, I was having a beer, and as I was pouring it into the glass, that's pretty much an idea that came to me. It's like something being poured into a vessel. The Strormcast are the vessels for Sigmar's power, and it's slowly being drained from them, one reforging at a time. With that in mind, what I want to do, and what I think is a really fun idea for these guys, is to take that concept and convey it in a paint scheme. The face, the head, will be somewhat reminiscent of the current Strormcast, gleaming gold, but without any features to signify the loss of these guys' decaying humanity. And as we work down the model, it'd be really cool to go through bright gold, burnished gold, perhaps into silvers, into steels, and then finally to the armour crumbling. Another aspect that I want to portray is the battle damage. There's less and less repairs happening to the armour after each of the reforgings. Sure, they could have armour smiths and artificers sort their armour out, but I really like the idea of the armour being less imbued with Sigmar's power, or whatever it is that makes them shiny and new. And with that in mind, that's what I want to convey with the paint scheme, and a little bit of light conversion on each one. We're going to get rid of the features off the face. It's just going to be eyes on an helmet. That's it, shiny gold, and then everything else diminishing. Colour wise, I really like the idea of bringing in a warm purple, having something that's reflective of the storm and the lightning that plays back into the Stormcast element. So perhaps a little bit of blue on there, balancing out the warm and the cold, starting off warmer with the gold at the top, working to the cooler at the bottom, perhaps a slight bit of rust, and then perhaps another pop of colour on the bases. This is just the concept model. I'm hoping that it's going to work out for the entire force. I have no intention of collecting a full Stormcast army, so I'm going to stop at what's in the box unless a cool model comes out that I just want to add to the range. Let's have a look at what I came up with then. The entire paint scheme took me about an hour and 30 minutes from concept to getting it done. Grey plastic. Now, I can't wait to get my hands on the Skaventide box set. Let me know what you think of yours. I would love to know. If you're not already as well, do leave me a comment. Let's have a look. Now you've seen what I've come up with for my Ruination Chamber. What are you going to do for yours? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really keen to know how people are going to paint their Stormcast armies. Are you going to paint Stormcast at all? Are you just going to get rid of them? Do let me know. They're an interesting take, aren't they? I don't think Stormcast are quite as cool as Marines. Perhaps you do. Again, let me know. I would love to talk to you about this. But what did you think of what I've come up with? It's a super fast scheme. It doesn't look absolutely amazing, but hopefully with the battle damage and the wear that I've got on there, it's really reflective, really flavourful of what we're hearing in the lore. That is actually something that I'm more interested in than I ever have been before with Stormcast. This Ruination Chamber actually gives them a little bit more interest for me. What about for you? Well, that's it for this video. It's been a super quick one. I hope you enjoyed it. I smashed this entire thing together in an afternoon, including the painting of that model. So, yeah. What more can you do? I am super excited, and doing it in this way, having a fast turnaround, really made me think about what the fastest way is to get that model on the tabletop. And well, I think it looks kind of cool, to be honest, so I'm not overly disappointed with it. Right, that said, I'm done for this one. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you on the next one.